Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Numerics with Nadia. In today's lesson, we're going to do one video solely focused on long division. One of you guys commented about wanting that as a solo video, so we're going to go ahead and do that today. To start off, we're going to go through some vocabulary that we're going to be using in the video today. We've done practice of long division in previous videos in the decimals playlist, so go ahead and watch that if you haven't watched that one yet. But the vocab words for today are going to be divisor, dividend, quotient, and remainder. So to start off, we'll go ahead and define our first vocabulary word, and that is the divisor. So the divisor is what we are dividing by. And I'm color coding all of these. So when we do our first example, you'll see where everything plugs in. So our divisor is in blue. That's what we're dividing by. Our dividend is going to be in red, and our dividend is what is being divided, right? So there we've got both parts, what we're dividing by, what is being divided. Then our third one is our quotient. Our quotient I'll label in green. The quotient is what we get after we divide. So our quotient is our answer. So that one is our third part. That one we'll be labeling in green. And our last vocab word for today's lesson is our remainder. Now our remainder we'll be labeling in this orange color, and our remainder is what we get left over. So sometimes when we divide, we get a number left over. We'll go through what a remainder is, but for now, we'll just label the remainder in this orange color. So now that we've gone through and we've defined our 4 vocabulary words, we're going to do an example and we're going to color code it just so we see where everything fits in. For our first example, we have 432 divided by 15. Now, what we are dividing by is our divisor, right? So I'm labeling that in blue for us. What is being divided is our dividend, which is 432, right? That's being divided by 15. So our dividend and our divisor are labeled. Now, our divisor always goes outside of our division bar, and our dividend goes inside of our division bar because our dividend is what is being divided. Now for the other two, we're going to have to actually divide to get there. So we're going to look at our divisor. It's 15, right? 15 does not go into 4, but 15 goes into 43 2 times, right? 15 times 2 gives us 30. So I'm going to go through and subtract. 43 minus 30 will give me 13. I'll move on to my next digit. I'll bring down my 2. We're going to see, okay, how many times does 15 go into 132? Now we know that this value would be less than 10, but greater than 5. So let's see what 15 times 8 gives us. 15 times 8 will give us 120, which is perfect. So we'll write our 8 up top. We know that 15 times 8 is 120. So when I do 132 minus 120, I get a remainder of 12. So the quotient would be our 24, and then our remainder of 12 would be labeled in that orange color as our remainder. So now that we've gone through one very in-depth with all the colors, I'll still go through and color code where everything is and what every part is, but let's go a little bit quicker through a few practice problems. So for number 1, we have 9,789 divided by 11, and for number 2, we'll have 1,238 divided by 7. So starting off with number 1, we know that our divisor is 11, right? That goes outside of our division bar, and our dividend is 9,789. So we're going to look, 11 does not go into 9, but 11 goes into 97 8 times. 8 times 11 is 88. Now I'm going to subtract 88 from 97, and when I do that, I will get 9, and then we'll go ahead and bring the 8 down. We know that 11 goes into 98 8 times again, right? 8 times 11 gives us 88. So we'll write the 8 up top on the bar. and then we'll write the 88 below our 98. We will subtract. 98 minus 88 will give me 10. I'll bring down my 9. 11 goes into 109 9 times, right? So 9 times 11 gives us 99. We'll write our 9 up top. And then when we do 109 minus 99, we'll get 10 left over. So we will underline our 889 in green because that's our quotient. And then we have a remainder of 10, so the 10 will be in that orange color. Now we'll move on to number 2. Again, the divisor is what we're dividing by. That would go outside of the division bar, right? That's our 7. And then the 1,238 is our dividend. That goes on the inside. We know that 7 does not go into 1, but 7 goes into 12 one time. When we do 12 minus 7, we'll get 5 left over. Then I will bring down my 3. 7 goes into 53 7 times, right? 7 times 7 gives us 49. When I do 53 minus 49, I will get 4 left over. When I look to my next digit, I'll bring down my 8. So now we're looking for how many times does 7 go into 48? We know that 6 times 7 gives us 42, right? So we'll write our 6 up top on the bar. We know 6 times 7 is 42. And when we do 48 minus 42, we will get 6. So for number 2, 176 is our quotient, and we have a remainder of 6. Now, moving forward, what do we do with this remainder? We're familiar with all of the other vocabulary words, but what do we do when we get a remainder? What does this remainder mean? So let's go ahead and rewind. We're going to go back through those 3 problems that we initially did, and we're going to see how we can write and better understand these remainders. So if you remember, our first question was 432 divided by 15. I'll quickly go ahead and rewrite the division that we had. We knew 15 goes into 43 twice, right? We get 13 left over. We bring down our 2. 15 goes into 132 8 times, right? And then we get 15 times 8 is 120. When I subtract out, I get 12 left over. So what does this remainder of 12 mean? What are we going to do with this? So we know that our quotient is 28, right? What we're going to do is we're going to take our remainder of 12. That's going to be the numerator of our fraction, and our divisor, what we divided by, right? That will be the denominator. So one way to rewrite 28 remainder 12 would be 28 and 12/15. Now, depending on the divisor and on the remainder, what you can also do is just continue dividing. So we're going to go in and add a decimal point. If we bring down a 0, we get 120, and we know that 15 goes into 120 8 times evenly, right? So by just going out one more decimal place, we have no remainder anymore, and we get 28.8 as our answer. So we're going to go through now and see which method works for the other 2 practice problems we did. Now, 11, that denominator will give us a repeating decimal. So what we're going to do is we'll just write our answer as a fraction. For number 1, it would be 889 and 10/11. We'll do the same method for number 2 because 6/7 is a very, very long decimal. So what we will do is we will just write 176, and we will let our remainder be the 6/7, right? So that would be our answer for our last problem. Thank you guys so much for watching. That is the end of today's lesson. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, feel free to leave a comment if there's any other topic you'd like to see a video on. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time.